it's Pierre. Today I got a review for you of the Tecnifibre Dynergy AP series of rackets. It comes in 3 different weights, which I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you all 3 in a second. This is a new range from Tecnifibre, in 2016, and it is. It's got this. The AP stands for Arch Power. In fact, you can kind of see it written really small right there if you look really closely. But basically, it's this concept of the strings wrapping around this ring. And there's a couple other rackets that have had that before, like Prince rackets, and some Wilson ones have had it. But this is Tecnifibre's first frame to use this kind of design. And I have been testing it out for several matches now, and I'm going to give you some feedback. First, let me show you how these look. This is the 125, and it is the cosmetics on all 3 rackets are nice. We've got, all of them have a black, orange, and white color scheme, which is kind of cool. The Carboflex rackets, like the one Shorebaggy uses, which don't have this arch, they're teardrop, and the strings go all the way down, in this sort of normal fashion. Those are all black, red, and white, and this Dynergy AP range is all black, orange, and white. Whoops, kicking a lot of stuff down there, but here they are. So the 125 is black. This is the one Miguel Rodriguez from Colombia he's actually just started using this at the British Open. And he's going to be in all their marketing, so you're going to see his face with the Dynergy AP with him diving with this racket in his hand. The grip, by the way, is black. I've just got my turning grip on there. It's got the jumbo shaft. I don't know if it's right side up or upside down. So it's got kind of a thicker shaft than the other Tecnifibre frames, and I'm going to tell you about how that plays in a second. It's strung, all 3 rackets are strung with a new string from Tecnifibre called Dynamics, D-N-A-M-X, which is, I think it's, I'm not sure if it's a different construction from their 305 Plus. I believe it's replacing that string in their lineup. I'm going to try to find out more of that and post it separately. But these come pre-strung with it, and I think the idea is that this type of frame has more. It's tougher on strings, so I think they've picked a string that's going to be more durable in this kind of to be appropriate for this kind of frame. Although Shorebaggy uses apparently the dynamic string in his Carboflex, so it's appropriate for different rackets. But these Dynergy ones come strung with it. Right. So we've got the 125, and then 5 grams up from that, we have got the 130, which is the white one. Just like the Carboflex range, the black one is the lightest, the white one is the middle, and then in these Dynergys, the orange one is the heaviest. So they have a consistent graphic design. I think they look cool. I think Tecnifibre did a good job with these. And so now, as for how they play, they do remind me of when I tested out the Prince rackets a while ago. You can kind of hear it. The air passing through the strings sounds like a wind tunnel or something. You can kind of hear it in a strange way. But I found it to be a powerful racket. I usually use traditional head shape rackets typically, and with this, I found that the sweet spot was further up. So if you're switching from a traditional, you're going to want to search around for where that sweet spot is. And interestingly, there was actually a large section of this where of the racket where you could get almost different kinds of shots off. Further down about where this white triangle is, you could get a huge rebound, a lot of power. And further up, closer to the head of the racket, you could still get a lot of control and feel, which is kind of nice if you're scraping a ball off the wall and you need to just use that top piece of your racket. You still get that feel. I didn't get to be good enough, with these. I did a few times, but you could potentially get used to, using with the same setup, hitting a different spot on the frame and getting a different kind of shot off, either a really powerful one or a more controlled one, in a way that you can't really do effectively with a traditional frame. So of the three, my favorite was the 125. And the balance on this felt kind of, it feels kind of maybe a little head light, kind of evenly balanced. And for a racket that's easy to maneuver, I'm still getting a lot of power out of it. This is the Miguel's racket. So I think this one was my favorite. My second favorite was actually the 135, and this is strange. When I weighed the rackets, the lightest of the three, even though this says 135, this actually came out the lightest of the three. I think it was like 165 or something on my scale. That's fully strung with the grip. So this actually was like a gram or two lighter than the 125. And the heaviest racket of the three was this one, the 130. Now this is normal, there's always variation, and actually Tecnifibre, I was noticing this, to their credit, I think they may be the only manufacturers to actually say, I don't know if you can read that, but it says, 130 grams plus or minus 5 grams. So there's always variability, and Tecnifibre says it right on the frame, to their credit. So anyway, so you might get a slightly different result. So I tend to like slightly lighter rackets, and so that's why these two, which are, these came out the lightest. These two were my favorites. The 125 feels kind of evenly balanced, and both the orange one and the 135 and the white one, the 130, feel head heavy. So sometimes, depending on what day it is and how I'm playing, sometimes I actually like having that head-heavy action, so that to kind of, if I feel like I need a little help carving out my shots, and I'm not getting much luck from flicks and using my wrist and stuff. But when that was the case, when I wanted one that was a bit head heavier, I went for the one that was the lighter of the two head heavy ones, just because basically I'm just not strong enough to handle this one. So you might get some variability there, and you'll have to check it out. But all three of these were very enjoyable rackets, and I think Tecnifibre has kind of nailed this range, both in terms of the design of the rackets, the graphic design of them, the marketing, and how they're putting Rodriguez behind it. So I think you're going to see a lot of these in the coming months and years. It's the Tecnifibre Dynergy AP 125, 130, and 135.